and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. Barça once again find themselves in midweek action in La Liga, and this is another difficult test. It's Athletic against Barça, live from San Mames, and this right here, it's the second of 4 successive away games to come in the league, and it won't be easy, especially after our last performance. Because indeed, despite beating Huesca by a 0-0 to kick off 2021, Barça really after that game left more questions than answers, as so many of our performances seem to do. Ronald Koeman's team need to answer some of those here, but as always the question is, will they? Kickoff will be coming to us at 9 PM local time on Wednesday, and here, guys, are the times right around the world, and we once again will be wearing our yellow and red kit. And I've got no idea really what's happened, and this has been the theme right throughout the season. What's happened to that black away kit? And of course, make sure, guys, you're joining me there live on the Flick Chat. Hopefully, we'll have a bit more excitement during the game this time around, and of course, leave your predictions to be in with a chance of winning a shirt of your choice. And it's interesting this week in terms of the midweek round of fixtures, because Barça and Athletic, it's the only game happening. So right here in La Liga, when you're looking at the La Liga table, we have the opportunity to gain some ground on those around us. Atletico Madrid right now sitting pretty at the top. Real Madrid there 2 points behind, having played 2 games more. Barça are in 5th place. If we beat Athletic on Wednesday, we will climb above Villarreal and above Real Sociedad into 3rd place. But to do that, we have to win. And particularly there, when you are looking at our opponents, Athletic, it is interesting right now the situation they come into this game in, because despite winning at the weekend, they actually went and sacked their coach, Garitano. That happened there on Sunday, with the club right now sitting 10th in the league table. And it's not exactly been a disastrous campaign for Athletic, but they are certainly there striving for better. And I think their appointment has been a very, very good one, because it only took Athletic there a single day to announce Garitano's successor, with former Villarreal and Valencia coach Marcelino brought in, and he was announced there on Monday. And that, like I say, I think it's a very, very solid appointment, and I think he can do some good things here with the squad that they have. And certainly against Marcelino, we don't really have a very good recent record, because if you think back to the last time he came up against Barça, it was the Copa del Rey final back in 2019, when his Valencia side prevailed by 2-1 against Valverde's Barça. That wasn't a good day for us. And although Marcelino here does not have a lot of time with his new team, he's not exactly going to get a number of training sessions in before this game, I think we do have to be wary of that so-called new manager bounce, because sometimes there, when you bring a new face in, when you have a different energy within the team, that can really inspire the players, and certainly that could make our trip to San Mames all that more difficult. Because no question about it, if you have followed Barça in recent seasons, you know that when this fixture comes up in the calendar, it is never ever going to be an easy one. Obviously, we are going to be helped by the fact there's no fans inside San Mames on Wednesday evening, but still, it's a tough place to go, and Athletic are always a tough team to come up against. Think back to last season, under 2 different coaches, we couldn't really get the better of them. Valverde losing the first game of last season in a bad way, and then Setien getting knocked out of the Copa del Rey to Athletic. It doesn't really seem to matter who's in charge. Barça find Athletic tough, but will Koeman fare any better? And of course, it is safe to say that preparation for this game hasn't exactly been the smoothest for Barcelona, simply because yesterday on Monday evening, it was announced by the club that 2 members of the first team staff had tested positive for COVID-19, and of course that sent the entire team into jeopardy there. They all went there for new tests on Tuesday morning. Training and the press conference there were postponed for the time being, just to understand whether or not there were any more positive tests in that group. But the fantastic news is that after that new round of testing, after the players all went through those PCR tests, none of them came back positive. All of the first team players there returned a negative test, which means they're all fine to face Athletic on Wednesday evening. And that is where we head to next. In terms of the team selection, of course wishing those 2 members of staff all the very best in their recovery, if we do move on to what Koeman may do in a game that he knows, as the elections are coming now, he has to keep winning. Because this right here, as you can see, is the way that Ronald Koeman lined up in our last game against Huesca, which of course Barça won, but it wasn't exactly the most inspiring performance ever, and certainly going forward, we lacked there a bit of creativity and we couldn't score more than the one goal that we did. Now, of course, it was more of a 4-3-3 setup. Messi did, of course, come central as usual, but it was very much here Braithwaite as that number 9, Dembele off to the left-hand side, and then Pedri and De Jong were playing quite close to each other there, and they were both trying to make advanced runs there into the box, as we saw with De Jong's goal, with Busquets here holding in midfield. But like I say, there wasn't enough for me going forward. Braithwaite was hardly involved in the game. He didn't even get there in the double figures in terms of his passes. He was very much an isolated figure for the entirety of the match. Dembele was very much involved, and of course Messi was too, but I didn't think he was as involved as, say, we saw him against Valladolid. So what should change coming into this game? Well, in my opinion, if I had to make a lineup coming into this game, I would actually there change just 2 players, and it would be number 1, Miralem Pjanic here coming into midfield to replace Sergio Busquets. I thought Busquets in the game quite a few times. Huesca just ran past him. They just went past him there so easily. He couldn't recover that position. And I think when you're leaving that much space there in midfield, you need somebody who can recover, and Busquets there, and against a team like Athletic, you are going to suffer if you leave that amount of space time and time again. What I would do here was once again play Dembele on the left-hand side. I would play Pedri here, out and out in that number 10, with Messi as the most advanced player. I would not start Braithwaite in this game, because I would go for Francisco Trincao. Now, I know you're all thinking Trincao this season has had his struggles. Off the bench, he's not been able to make the impact that we all want, but why not here give him a start? Give him an opportunity from the beginning of the game, and what you'd have there is 2 natural wingers. I think against a team like Athletic, we need to have a lot of the ball, we need to have this control here. Messi there, Pedri combining, De Jong, Pjanic, and basically there just trying to create more. Because Athletic are a very good team, much better than the standard that Huesca were, and of course they are going to allow us to play a bit more, because they're probably not going to defend us deep. However, that doesn't mean to say that's the team that Koeman is going to go with, and if I had to guess, I believe that Koeman will make just one single change from the team that faced Huesca. I think Busquets will remain in midfield, but I think Griezmann will replace Martin Braithwaite up front. I think Griezmann didn't start again against Huesca. I think he will come back in here. Pedri behind him, Messi here, and Dembele. Of course, it could happen that Griezmann goes out to the right-hand side, Messi and Pedri playing central. That may be the way that it shapes up. If Griezmann comes back in, that's how I see it. But what would you do? And I've got to be honest, guys, when we come on here to your predictions, what we can see is that many of you guys and all of us Barca fans are expecting a tough game in this one. Many of you, of course, opting there for a win by just 1 single goal. But I have to say, I'm expecting a tough one. I really am. I was disappointed with the way that we played against Huesca. I think we're going to need to raise our level massively coming into this game. And honestly, after predicting us to score 5 against Huesca and seeing us massively underdeliver, I'm going to say here, and it's very rare that I do this, but I'm going to say Barca will draw this game. Barca 1, Athletic 1. I hope that I'm proved wrong. Of course I hope I'm wrong. But I'm just feeling like this one, it is going to be tough. So indeed, guys, please do leave your team predictions. Who would you like to see in that starting lineup in this game? Also, let me know your score predictions down below, and I will see you tomorrow for the big match review. Hopefully, we can see an improved performance in the second game of this new year. I'll see you then, guys. But until next time, as always, Huesca, el Barça.